In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA playoff bets for Friday, April 26th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Friday, April 26th NBA playoff bet slate we got going on. But before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 4.56 thousand subscribers. We're getting closer to our goal of 10K. So let's continue to push and move forward. If you're already subscribed, please continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can reach a broader audience. All right. If you're not subscribed, please join the community that we're building on YouTube and on Patreon, and click that subscribe button right now, this second. All right. For the Patreon. Yes, I know. The basketball plays the previous day did not go through, but that same day we did phenomenally on the baseball bets. All right, one thing was bad, but MLB was red hot fire. 5 out of 6 out of that. We had the Cardinals, we had the New York Mets in the early slate, and I put that together. Cardinals Mets had a phenomenal beginning of the day with MLB. So if one thing's slacking, we are hitting on all cylinders on the other one. All right. So if you want winning plays, please sign up for the Patreon. That Patreon link is provided down below. First game up for Friday, we have the 3 versus 6 matchup here in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee Bucks currently 49-33 going up against the Indiana Pacers 47-35. This series is tied 1-1 back in Indiana. Pacers right now are home favorites, minus 225 on the money line, with the comeback of the Milwaukee Bucks at a plus 185. The point spread is at a 5.5, and the total is set at 221.5. All right, public bet percentage here, 82% of the bets on the Pacers, but 61% of the money is on the Bucks. Okay, for the point spread, 63% of the bets, 63% of the money on the Pacers to cover. For the total here, 71% of the bets, 70% of the money on the over 221.5. All right, change of venue here. Obviously, injury report, Milwaukee Bucks still waiting on Giannis to come back. Okay, he should be back soonish. There's hope that he can come back in this series. It might depend on the dire situation. If they're down in the series like 3-1, I might expect Giannis to play. All right, so definitely just stay towards the news. That's why I provide that link down below for RotoWire, so you can stay up to date on the injury report of Giannis. Okay, they're doing it like a day-to-day thing. See, hey, are you ready? He's more like probably week to week, but we'll see if he's going to force it through. Okay, Pacers still clean bill of health. The guys that are playing in 1 and 2 are going to be playing in 3. All right, so for this game here, what we saw in game 2 from the Pacers and the Bucks is just an overpower of offense. Okay, other than Damian Lillard in the first half of the game 1, it's been domination from the Indianapolis Pacers. All right, each quarter they've won other than the first half of Damian Lillard going off. They need more support. The Bucks need more support. Damian Lillard cannot do it on his own. If he's going to go for 30 or 40, Siakam can't match him. That just defeats the purpose. All right, Milwaukee's supposed to be a solid defensive team, but you're missing your main defender there in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bobby Portis is too slow. Brook Lopez is big but too slow. There's a lot of question marks with that Milwaukee Bucks defense. They need their main guy in game 2. The Pacers shot better, 55% from the field goal. They shot threes better, 44%. They out-rebounded them. And I thought that was going to be a spot where the Bucks can at least lean on with Brook Lopez. He doesn't like to go down low. He can barely get you double-doubles. He can sure shoot a 3, though. That's a question. He needs to be in that paint, getting rebounds. Utilize him in his back down game like he did with the Brooklyn Nets. He needs to go back to paint Brook Lopez, not three-point Brook Lopez, if you have Giannis out, okay? So they got out-rebounded. They got out-assisted, 38-24 across the board. 52 points in the paint, the Pacers. Fast break points. Had 9 points more in the fast break department. So each and every category, domination from the Pacers, and it leaves big question marks for the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 3. Looking at the Milwaukee Bucks scoring, other than Damian Lillard, we saw Brook Lopez score 20 points. He shot mostly threes, 6 or 7 from the three-point line. You're not going to always get that, okay? Middleton needs to step up as well. He needs to have a minimum of 20. He was okay, 6 for 14, but it just wasn't enough. All right. Mainly defensively, they need to come up with a better scheme to stop the Indianapolis Pacers here, who are clicking on all cylinders. Both games you had Siakam dominate in both ones. Okay. So for this one here, we're going to go Pacers. That's the lock. Pacers, a money line here. I'm going to be leaning heavily towards that play. For the point spread, if the Milwaukee Bucks don't come through with an effort here defensively, they're not covering the spread. So give me the -5.5 here for the Indiana Pacers at home. I expect them and their cast role players to come through here at home. This was a very strong home team during the regular season. And especially once they get that offense going, they are very, very hard to stop. So give me the 5.5 and give me the over 221.5. Milwaukee is going to be behind trying to play catch up. And they're going to be in dire straits to keep up pace with the Pacers. Next game up, we have the Los Angeles Clippers here, 51-31, going up against the Dallas Mavericks, 50-32. This series is currently tied 1-1, going to the Dallas Mavericks. All right, Mavericks looking at the odds. Mavericks home favorites, money line at a -190 with the comeback of the LA Clippers at a +155. The point spread is at a 4.5, and the total is at 211.5. For the public bet percentage, 80% of the bets on Dallas, 57% of the money on Dallas. All right, point spread, 52% of the bets, but 55% of the money on the Clippers to cover. So flip-flop there with the bets and the money. And for the total, 57% of the bets and 53% of the money on the over 211.5. All right, injury report for the LA Clippers. No injuries. Kawhi Leonard is back. Unless something crazy happens with a flare-up with his condition, we'll wait and see. Other than that, there's clean bill of health for the LA Clippers. Dallas Mavericks throw on the other side. Tim Hardaway Jr. is not going to be able to play in Game 3. He's out with the ankle issue. And Daniel Gafford, he didn't practice on Thursday. We're going to wait in on news. He is currently questionable for Game 3 on Friday. So they could be without two guys here, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Daniel Gafford. All right. So in the second game, the Mavericks showed up. Okay. 96-93, a very solid win on the road. When everyone got the news of Kawhi Leonard being back for the LA Clippers, everyone flip-flopped. I warned my guys in Patreon. This is why it's very key. I warned my guys in Patreon, do not follow everyone else with Kawhi Leonard playing, okay? That disrupts everything. Vegas gave you the correct line when it first came out. Then they made everyone switch over to the Clippers just because Kawhi came back, knowing he's been out for like 3 weeks and it's going to just mess up the whole chemistry of the team that's currently acclimated. They already were fine of working with what the guys that they had, throwing Kawhi right in it in the middle of a series. Obviously, they had to do it sooner or later, but it was just going to mess up the flow. And the Dallas Mavericks, as long as they had a supporting guy step up, they were going to be fine in the game. Dallas Mavericks were a team that were already favored in this series, even with or without Kawhi Leonard, okay? And they are the better team, I do think so myself. So the Mavericks here had a big showing from PJ Washington, 18 points, 6 rebounds. They had a great showing from Derrick Jones, 10 of 7. That was very solid. That was just enough. When you got Kyrie going for 20 plus, Doncic going for 30, and you're playing solid defense, that's all you really need to win games here. And they were very key in that fourth quarter, okay? the fact that we saw a fully engaged Luka Doncic, that makes this team very, very dangerous. Luka played 46 minutes. 46 minutes. That's dang near the whole entire game. All right. So, and he was playing defense. He had a block. It was some phenomenal possessions from Luka Doncic that we saw here. We're getting a scenario here with the Mavericks coming back home, a fully engaged Luka Doncic. I get it. Kawhi's coming back on the second game. He still is going to need a little bit to get more acclimated here with the team, with how things were flowing with Paul George and James Harden. But as of right now, in Game 3, I'm going to be leaning towards the Mavericks. I like them on the money line at -190. The point spread is going to be really iffy because I can definitely see this series is going to be tight all the way through. Okay, I don't expect the Dallas Mavericks to fully blow out the Clippers or just win by 5. I think it's going to be very close, coming down to the wire, just like we saw in Game 2. It came down to some key possessions, solid defense, and the Dallas Mavericks prevailed. So if you want to go and play it safe, you can lean towards the Clippers in that +4.5. If it bumps up more, you can feel safe with that point spread. But my main play is the money line and the under 211. All right, if we're getting a Dallas Mavericks team, there's the reason why they went out and got PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, but they still got other guys that play solid defense. With Gafford out, if he's out, Derek Lively is going to have to step up, and he's a very good kid here, long, lanky, can definitely shot block. So they're not going to be missing much if Gafford is out. They can throw Likely in. He does the same thing, okay? So love the Mavericks on the money line. If you're going with the point spread, you can take the points with the Clippers +4.5, and I like the under 211.5. Last but not least, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves here, 56-26, going up against the Phoenix Suns at 49-33. We got the 3-6 matchup going into Phoenix here, Game 3, with the Suns down 2-0 in the series. All right, this was not saying it's crazy, but the Suns dominated the Timberwolves in the regular season. Now the Timberwolves are getting a little bit of revenge so far in the first 2 games. Remember, a series does not start until a team wins a road game. Then that's when you should be concerned. All right. So looking at the current line, the Suns at a -185 on the money line with the comeback of the Minnesota Timberwolves at a +150. The point spread is at a 4.5 on both sides with the total at 207.5. All right. Injury report here. Minnesota Timberwolves, no injuries of concern. Phoenix Suns, we're waiting on news for Grayson Allen. He did step out with an ankle injury. He re-injured the same ankle, so we're going to wait and see if he's going to be able to play in Game 3. They do have other three-point shooters that can replace Grayson Allen, all right? They have Eric Gordon, very capable, and Royce O'Neal, very capable of knocking down the three if Grayson Allen is out, all right? So the key factor here for the Phoenix Suns coming back home, they just need to knock down their shots. Their big 3 has to be the big 3, okay? If you're looking at the last game, you can't have KD go under 20 points and be mediocre, and Brad Beal can't be mediocre and shoot 6 for 17. All right. Devin Booker barely showed up and barely had 20 points. That was not enough. All right. You need everyone to get clicking here for the Phoenix Suns. This is an offensive-minded team, and the way they win is they're gonna have to outscore guys. They're gonna have to outscore guys and come up with key defensive possessions in the fourth quarter, unless they put it on you early and they're gonna blow you out. All right. So Phoenix Suns, I expect them to bounce back here at home, and I expect Bradley Beal to step up, KD to go over 20 easily, and Devin Booker to be right there as well. Minnesota is not going to have their home crowd, and you're going to need worse days from Jaden McDaniels. The fact that that's huge. Jaden McDaniels, 25 points, 18 from Conley, and 18 from Gobert, and you had a mediocre day from Towns. That can't happen. This is a must-win situation here. You do not want to go down 3-0 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. You do not want to give them any other life than what they have now. Take care of home court. So give me the Phoenix Suns on the money line. I expect them to beat them by 4.5. So I like the spread at 4.5. And give me the over 207.5. I expect Game 3 to be very high scoring here. And we get the normal Phoenix Suns of what we saw in that regular season, and mainly what we saw closing out the regular season when they needed those wins to make sure they do not get in the play-in. they played hard. They played very good basketball in those last 3 games. So that's what the Phoenix Suns I'm expecting here in Game 3. This is a veteran team, and they're going to need to step up in this spot here. All right, those are going to be our selections for the Friday slate in the NBA playoffs. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts. Hey, if I get these wrong, hey, go ahead, throw it. I can take it. That's just negative energy. I'm the positive guy. That's fine. There's a lot of haters and there's a lot of trolls, as they call them, down there in that comment section. That's fine. There's no need to go back and forth, but I'm gonna just keep bringing this content for you guys. Keep commenting down below. I love all of it, and I always respond to you guys. You already know that. All right, so continue to do that down below. If you want the premium plays, then you sign up for that Patreon. That link is provided down below. All right, I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out.